Okay, if something I didn't mention is that I am working on a Mac, if you haven't noticed. It doesn't matter if you're using a Mac or PC. Photoshop is Photoshop. Some of the key commands are going to be a little different, but other than that, it's exactly the same program, same stuff, everything works the same. What I want to talk about right now is the toolbar a little bit and break this down a little bit so you can see what's going on. Notice in the toolbar they're broken into sections. There's a little line here that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tools, and then there's another section with a little line, and another section with a little line, and then there's another section. Adobe has broken this up into different sections. This top section up here, this is what I like to call the selection area. We have the selection tool, we have the marquee tool, the lasso tool, the quick select and magic wand tool, we have the crop tool, we have the eyedropper. Notice, like I just clicked on this tool right here, if you see a little triangle in the bottom right hand corner of that tool, that means that there's more than one tool there. We have the move tool and the artboard tool. Obviously underneath the marquee tool we have the rectangular and the elliptical marquee. We have the single row and the single column, which we are never ever going to use. Well, I shouldn't say that. You might use it once. I have used them once, I think, since they were in there in the very beginning in version 2. We have the lasso tool. So we have the lasso, the polygon lasso, and the magnetic lasso. Notice over here on the right-hand side of these, there's a letter. That is the key command that is the shortcut to that tool if I want to. We have the quick select tool and the magic wand tool. We have the crop tool, the perspective crop tool, the slice tool, and the slice selection tool. We have the eyedropper, the 3D material eyedropper tool, the color sampler tool, the ruler tool, the note tool, and the count tool. So these are all items that we're going to use, tools that we're going to use for selections or to select something in an image. The next section right here, this is the fun section. We have the spot healing brush, the patch tool, the content aware move, and the red eye tool. The paintbrush is the next item up for bids in the toolbar. The brush, the pencil, the color replacement, the mixer brush. We have the clone stamp and the pattern stamp. We have the history and the art history brush. We have the eraser, the background eraser, and the magic eraser. The gradient tool, the paint bucket, the 3D material tool. The blur, the sharpen, and the smudge. And we have the dodge and burn. This is what I like to call the more creative section, the stuff that we have fun with. We can do lots of neat stuff. You're going to fix things in photos, you're going to adjust things in photos, you're going to create things in photos with those items in that section. Then the last section is more of our miscellaneous section. We have the pen tool, the freeform pen tool, the plus anchor pen tool, the delete, and the convert. We then have the type tool, and we have the horizontal type tool, the vertical type tool, the horizontal type mask tool, vertical type mask tool. Down here we have the path selection tool and the direct selection tool. Now we're going to talk a lot about vector and raster and what's the differences. And this is a raster based program, but we can do vector items in here. And these are going to be for those different things. And here's some of those vector shapes. We can create all kinds of custom shapes. And they're all going to be vector shapes. So you need something to work with those. For anybody that is familiar with any other Adobe program, whether it's InDesign, Illustrator, Dreamweaver, a lot of these panels and palettes and toolbars are going to look similar. And Adobe does that for a reason. So that if you learn one Adobe program, it's easy to learn a second Adobe program because things are similar, set up the same way. The tools might not be exact, but they might do similar things, and of course the programs are going to do different things. Down here, underneath that final section, we have the hand tool and the rotate view tool, the magnifying glass, which is the zoom tool, okay, and then we have foreground and background color. These two squares right here, the top one is your foreground and the back one back one is your background color. Okay, these are going to be very important. We're going to be able to do color picking from here. We're going to be able to do, we're going to do a lot of fills. We're going to do masks. We're going to do a lot of stuff. And those two items right there, background and foreground, are pretty important. And you'll see as we go along how important they are. Again, when you click on a tool up here, you will see things change up across the top. And sometimes you'll see certain things appear or not appear over in our panels over here. So when we get going in here and we do things, these different tools are all broken into sections for a reason, but this is one heck of a program and you're going to have a really good time and do some really cool things.